this dangerous cheetah, grooming himself in the wild, just ready to pounce at any moment. Ah! He is an absolute bad man. He has no fear. Absolutely nothing can distract him from absolutely cleaning the shit out of that leg. My God. That's my cat. His name is, he doesn't have a fucking name. But today I want to tell you guys a story. Something that most of you probably don't know. It's about the time I played a DJ set at a Getter show. This bag, so gas. Marlboro Country Store bag, and wait. Ooh, the plaid in the middle though. I think this story would be best told if I was at my dad's house, so we're gonna go there real quick.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed. Everybody wants to know me. The world's gonna roll me.
Can you believe that Bruce Springsteen wrote 150 songs about this damn road? It's just a road. Matter of fact, it sucks.
Why they looking at me when I pull up out the parking lot? Hey, behind the scenes, I know some dogs who like to park a lot. They don't know I know about it. I pee when they would start the plot. I've been balling out, they can't stop us with the pick and pop. I've been smoking gas, I've been higher than an astronaut. Started shaking ass, either if I throw this cash or not.
Made it. Now it's time to tell the story, but let me get my life together first. That's much better. Many of you don't know this about me, but actually before I was a YouTuber, before I was just some kid commenting on rap music, I was actually a music producer myself. No, I didn't make hip hop, I made EDM, and it was actually under the name Shank. In 2014, I was 18 years old, entering my first semester of college, and a good friend of mine downloaded FL Studio and said, I'm gonna start making EDM. At this point, me and my friends had been listening to electronic music for like 4 or 5 years. I met this girl at a show when I was like 17. I don't know who you are, so if you're out there, hit me up. And then this girl at EDC, it didn't really work out with us. And then there was this one at, okay, you guys see the trend here. I spent the next 2 years at community college spending all of my free time making music, and I actually got kind of good. This little bedroom is what birthed my creative career. These 2 Sony speakers is what I use to play back my music. And now I understand why all of that music sounds like trash. But over those 2 years, I learned a lot about social media marketing, branding, obviously music production and promotion. And it was the first time that I had like a real following online. And I don't really make music anymore, I just kind of do it as a hobby. Although I have thought about making beats. I'm gonna just pull up FL to show you what we're working with. Con Sweetie said it sounds like Mo Bamba.
16-year-old bitch.
I got one more. All you producers and rappers that are watching, don't gun me. I'm just doing it for fun. But if it's dope, say something nice. Back to the story. But pretty much every EDM artist also doubles as a DJ, and that's where they perform live and make money, just like a rapper. But I was super insecure about my music, and I wasn't sure if I was good enough or if I was ready, so I put off doing shows for a long time. But I did get an opportunity to perform at a show, and that show was Getter in Philadelphia. It was sometime in November of 2016. It was basically my first show, and I was scheduled to be the very first opener. Now, being the first opener at a show like that is not very exciting. It's not really that great of an accomplishment. Truthfully, there may have been 50 to 100 people there at most, because everybody just waits for the headliner, so it's always packed out like towards the end of the night. But when I showed up, the promoter texted me and said, "Hey, we're not going to put you on first, we're going to put you on last, directly after Getter." And at that point I was like, what?
Bro.
I was very, very nervous. Literally the whole night I was just walking around the club like, I had no idea what to do with myself. Getter went on around 12 or 12:30 at midnight. And when he hit the stage, they said that there was about 2,000 people there. I don't know how much experience you guys have with being in nightclubs, but 2,000 is a lot of people. A lot. Getter's ending his set at 2 a.m. There's probably over 2,000 people there at the time, going crazy. He stops his set. Now it's my turn to walk up. I'm standing behind the stage a little bit, behind Getter a few feet, walk up, go to plug in my stuff, literally looking at just a sea of people. I press play on my first song, and I just kept my head down the whole time because I was freaking out. I didn't want to look up. And probably about 30 seconds into the song, I decided to look up. Boom. There was basically nobody there. It was kind of heartbreaking and a little bit relieving at the same time, but mostly heartbreaking. Because at that point I had prepared myself all night to play in front of this giant crowd and how much it was about to help me advance so much. And I think by the time my first song ended, there may have been 100 people in the room, and almost none of them were paying attention to me. By the time I'm transitioning into the next song, I kind of realized that nobody knew I was gonna play, and nobody really gave a shit. But I figured, okay, well, I'm just gonna play this set to just a few people, and why not? So I'm probably about 7 or 8 minutes into my set, and the sound guy walks up to me, taps me on the shoulder while I'm performing, and he's like,
Yeah, you need to turn the music off.
I had the headphones on, I was like, what? Like, are you serious?
Turn the music off. The club is closed. It's 2 a.m. Like, you're done. Get off.
So at that point, I'm looking at the promoter who's a little bit behind him, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? And he walks up and he's like,
Yeah, man, I'm sorry, you gotta turn it off, like the club's closed. All Philly clubs close at 2 a.m.
So I'm thinking, you guys knew that the club closed at 2 a.m., but you put me on at the end anyway. It's kind of fucked up. Needless to say, I cut off the music and I got to perform for about 7 minutes. It was very heartbreaking, and obviously Getter had nothing to do with this. It wasn't really the promoter's fault. I don't really put any blame on them, but it did have a monumental impact on my life. It took me a long time to muster up the courage to perform live. It's a very big step for an EDM artist, and it was something that I was questioning for a long time if I was ready for or not. And it sounds kind of pathetic, but like, it kind of prevented me from succeeding from there. It definitely stopped me from doing any more shows, which is nobody's fault but mine. I never performed another show after that, ever again. I kept telling myself, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, I need to build a bigger following, I need to do this. And eventually, when you tell yourself that long enough, you start to believe it. And that honestly led to my downfall. And how I'd like to tie this into my fellow artists, whether you're EDM, but mostly for my following, rappers, this is gonna happen to a lot of you. In fact, it actually happened to Convolk, who has a monumentally larger following than I did at the time. In fact, he was headlining that show. If you want to see that vlog where his set gets cut short, check it out. But he wasn't beat up about it at all. He was like, you know what, it is what it is. But the point is, don't let things like that discourage you. That has really nothing to do with you, and it's something that's completely out of your control. But I let that destroy me, and now I'm not making music because of it. Am I mad about it? No, because I got a sick YouTube channel and I'm grateful for all of you, and this is what I'm really, really passionate about. But a lesson to be learned. Don't let things out of your control bring you down and ruin your dreams like they did for mine.